All right, take two. Off to a good start. Let's see if this is working. I think it's working. Maybe. Can you guys see and or hear me? Would be my question. I think it's working. My internet is also really bad today. I don't know why. Cool, I think it's working. Yeah, awesome. What's going on, guys? Scott here, back with more crazy hair, because I didn't, I literally woke up maybe like an hour ago. So, how's it going, everyone? It's been a while since we've done a live stream. Boy, on my end, it's telling me that 0 people are watching, but I am seeing that chat just fly by. So thank you for everyone who is watching. I don't know how many people, but based on the chat, there seems to be quite a bit. Yeah, this is a great question by Gene Garcia right off the bat. How long is this going to be? I don't really know. I haven't really planned it. It's not going to be that long. I do have other things to do today, but it's going to be longer than a lot of the other Tales from the Comments, which were usually somewhere between like 5 to 15 minutes long. It's going to be longer than that. It's going to be also a little bit less produced, less high quality, as you can already see. And it's mostly just going to be us just chatting about the last month's worth of videos. A little backstory. We were actually going to have an actual produced video for you today, but some scheduling stuff happened, and what ended up I basically had to come up with a video idea at the very last minute, and I couldn't think of it, so I figured, why not just ask you guys, do a live stream and ask you guys to jump in and comment and stuff. So, I think that'd be a lot of fun. Thank you for all the compliments in the comments. I appreciate it. 112 people watching. That's a lot of people, I think, at least for me. That's pretty awesome. We also have, this is a new time, this is the first time we're trying this out, but I think we have the super chat feature in the comments. So obviously there's a lot of comments flying by. And if you want to support the channel and also kind of bring your comment to the top, YouTube has a new feature called super chat. Totally unnecessary if you don't want to do it, not obligated at all, but it's just another way. It's just another fun thing that I kind of want to try out. We'll see how that works. So, let's see. Let's just jump right into the past week of videos. First of all, let me just go ahead and gauge your reaction. What did you guys think of Webruary? Was it a success? Was it too many Spider-Man videos? Because last year we did Spider-Manuary, but that was unintentional. It was just because I had planned a Spider-Man video, and then some news came out about Spider-Man science, and I was like, well, now I need to do that, and then it was just unintentional. But this time it was fully intentional. You guys liked it. You loved it. It was successful. Pretty good. Awesome. Boy, holy cow. Everything is flying by. It's really hard to keep track of everything that's going on right now. But yeah, thank you. That means that means a lot. That helps me because this year we are trying out themed months. Next month's theme. Ooh, that's something I could do, is kind of officially announce the themes. If we want to do one of these live streams every month, which I think would be kind of fun. I think I'll do it maybe at the end of the video. Here, let's make Drake a mod. There you go, Drake. Is there not a slow mode? Yeah, tell me about it, dude. This is crazy, the chat going on right now. Oh, hey! Mud King Mopey sent me €1, I imagine? That's awesome. Oh, hey! Holy cow, now I'm getting the numbers from the chat in. It's telling me 319 people. That's a lot of people. Thanks for joining, everybody. But yeah, I think I'll save... I already announced what next month's theme is going to be on Twitter, but I'll probably save it for the end of this video to make kind of like an official announcement. Maybe even give you guys some ideas about some of the stuff that we'll be talking about. So... awesome. Well, let's just jump into, let's kind of, I guess, tackle them one by one in no particular order. I think the month started with the video about KRAVEN'S Last Hunt. That was a fun video to do. That's actually one I've been saving for a really long time. If you remember, that video featured a lot of, it talked about, what was it? Enclothed cognition, that was the term for it, where the clothes you wear inform how you behave. And that's actually something I've been saving. I wanted to talk about for such a long time. Dylan, if he's still here, can attest to this, because literally something about costumes and how costumes can affect the wearer has been on our Trello board for months. Like months and months and months and months. And I couldn't figure out how I wanted to relate it to comic books necessarily. I wanted something more specific. Thank you for attesting, Dylan. I wanted something more specific, but I couldn't think of it. So eventually I was just kind of going through, I think I was writing an episode for January stuff. Oh, dude, thank you. The Phil the Legend. Thank you so much for supporting us. That means a lot. But yeah, I was trying to come up with videos for January because that was the sciencey thing, and I was like, well, this is more psychology than science, but I wonder if I can try to fit it in anyway. And then I thought about, I don't know what came over my mind just then, but I was like, wait a minute, hold on, doesn't Kraven's Last Hunt have to deal with this? And luckily I have it physically, so I went over there and I looked at it, and there were a couple great lines that immediately stood out to me, and I was like, yep, okay, I'm doing this. I have to do this for Webruary. It's so good. So I finally was able to do that, which was awesome. Yeah, that's super chat is why I'm calling specific people out, because that's so awesome that people would want to support us like that. In fact, let's move super chat up so I can see it a little bit better. Cool. Yeah, physical copies of Kraven's Last Hunt. Awesome. Yeah, it was a great video. Thank you so much. I had a lot of fun. My concern with that video is that it was going to go all over the place, right? It was going to be it was kind of like a brief summary of the comic, and then it went to kind of breaking down the major themes of the comic book. There was a lot of stuff that I cut out because it just didn't flow very well, and then I went into like enclosed cognition and that whole psychology, and my fear was that it wasn't going to connect with anybody, that it was just going to be a jumbled series of thoughts that not a lot of people were going to be like, what? But it looks like it went over pretty well. Cool. We have another super chat from Peachy. Thank you so much for sending that. They said, how do I get my beard so perfect? Real question. That is a fantastic question. And the truth is, I do not get it perfect. It is a nightmare. And I always just say that I have a passable facial hair. It's not that great, but I appreciate that you like it. Real question, because you're saying real question, so real answer. Something that I do that I never thought I would ever need is actually like product to keep it all fine. It's a mess right now because, like I said, I just woke up, which is why my hair is crazy as well. But yeah, that's all of that stuff. Holy cow, this is like the most successful live stream we've ever done. I appreciate it. So yeah, also it's just, you can go back and watch my old videos and you can see the evolution of Scott's facial hair, because it started out with just gross neck beard and nothing else, and then it slowly over the years started to fill in, and it's still kind of filling in. So awesome. Well, that was a fun little tangent on the side. But yeah, Kraven's Last Hunt, it's a comic book that I think a lot of people said that they'd never read when I had done that video, which is always a challenge to me because I have to, again, inform the watcher, the viewer, to understand what the story is very briefly before I want to talk about it. But also I hope it inspires people to go out and read it. It's an awesome story. Have any of you guys in the chat, that's a great question, have any of you guys read Kraven's Last Hunt before the video, or were you inspired to watch Kraven's Last Hunt or read Kraven's Last Hunt after the video? I'd love to know that. Do I move the screen every time I record there? Yes, this screen right here. Yeah, normally it's to the side of me. But behind me is just a mess of wires and camera gear, so I move it in front, and I even have lights that kind of go off the back there to make it a little bit easier. Easier on the eyes, I guess. Yeah. Oh, you read it due to the video? That's awesome. Moon Knight March. I wish I had enough topics for Moon Knight March. I can't think of that many. I should get 2 of these and make a whole cubicle. How would I get in? I'd have to continuously move it and unmove it to get in if I blocked myself in. That's as the same amount of work, I feel. But yeah. You read Last Hunt before? Cool. I hope I did it justice a little bit, or at least maybe helped see it in a different way. How do the homemade web shooters should look like? Yeah, hold on. Let me go get those real fast. Brief intermission. All right, I'm back already. That was quick. Yeah, these were, if you hadn't seen it, we're actually going to talk about, let's just jump into this video. This was a video about the real origin, or like the hidden, I have to take off my watch whenever I want to do this, the kind of the secret history of Spider-Man's web shooters. And what I meant by that was, super clickbaity title, I understand, but what I meant was there were other characters who had web shooter apparatuses. One of them was called Spider-Gwen or Queen Spider, I can't remember. And look, I've already forgotten all the info in my own videos. And yeah, these were made by my buddy Andrew on Twitter. He's at YouTube. You can just search for probably 3DIY, and he made a whole video about this. He's got an Etsy page, all that stuff. These are super cool. If you hadn't seen the video, like, all this stuff is magnetic web cartridges. It's really cool. Hey, there he is right there in the super chat. $2. 3DIY. Awesome. Yeah, so these are really cool, and the video talked about, this was another video that I'd been wanting to do for a long time, ever since I heard about this character, and it was about the character called Queen Spider, who had, in the Golden Age, like over 20 years before Spider-Man was ever created, had web shooting, like web wrist shooter things, right? Very similar to these. And so I've wanted to talk about it, and I kind of postponed it, and I kept postponing it until Webruary, and then at the same time, 3DIY reached out and said, hey, I'm going to make you some web shooters and send them your way. And that's actually why we set up a P.O. box. Let me try that again. Yeah, a P.O. box, which you can send us stuff to. Again, don't have to, but it's a lot of fun. We got a couple handwritten letters in the other day, which is very nice, very sweet to read, very encouraging as well. But yeah, so these are really cool, and yeah, that was just another. I really love diving into the old history of comic books like that, like the Queen Spider or Spider Queen. I can't even remember what her name was, but yeah, it's a ton of fun to see like what old comic book artists may or may not have been inspired by. Did Steve Ditko take that idea? There's no information to say that he did. Somebody suggested, and I wish I had the comment, somebody suggested the idea, which I think is actually super plausible and probably the most probable, that Ditko just ended up reading the comic, the Spider-Queen comic book, and just stored it in the back of his mind. Not even Spider-Queen. Thank you, everybody who's telling me it's Spider-Queen. He just read the Spider-Queen comic book and stored that information in the back of his mind, and had no idea, that he was going to take from that inspiration. It was just, kind of there, and he was like, oh yeah, let's do this, but he had no idea that he was kind of stealing it, if you want to say it that way. But I think that's probably the most plausible. Awesome. So we ended up getting another one. Encyclopedia of Nerds, $5. Dude, you're awesome. Thank you so much. That's so encouraging. Thanks for all the awesome content. What was your favorite video from Webruary? Mine was Peter and Mary Jane's relationship. Oh man, we got to talk about that one, guys. Yeah, Peter and Mary Jane's relationship. That was another one where I didn't have a topic that week, and I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. So I think it was the same article, actually. If you're not following anything that like Brian Cronin does on the internet, I get a ton of information from him in his books. I've quoted them and I've cited them a billion times. They're like always in the sources of all of our descriptions because he's just such an amazing fountain of info. He had a blog article, and he talked about the Spider-Gwen web shooters, and in that same article he talked about how that famous door shutting scene that I talked about in that Mary Jane and Peter Parker video, where she slammed the door or she didn't slam it, she clicked the door, right? And before I forget, thank you so much also to Fizzy Kyle, I hope I'm saying that right. Oh, and Fancy Teeth, who won the Spider-Gwen poll. I'll check that in a bit. Thank you guys so much for doing the super chat thing. That's awesome. Oh man, this is such a fun time. This is like the most successful live stream I've ever had. I love it. But yeah, so he was saying that famous door click scene almost didn't work, and I tried really, really hard to incorporate that into the video itself, but I felt like it was just going to split up the entirety of the content and the flow of everything. But basically, who drew that one? Because it was redrawn by John Romita Sr. I can't remember who initially drew it, but they did it where she was at the door, Mary Jane was at the door, and then she ran she paused for a bit, and then she ran kind of into Peter's arms, right? And then they were kind of thinking, I don't know, it doesn't really fit, it doesn't really feel right, so they gave it off to John Romita Sr., who repenciled that ending, and he came up with that famous kind of door click thing, and then that ended up cycling through to the end when their relationship kind of officially started, and it was just so beautiful. And that was the original topic of the episode, was how that door click thing almost never happened. But then I was like, well, if people don't understand the context, then it's not going to be that interesting. So let me explain the context. And then I just got super into talking about their relationship and how it kind of has this poetic mirroring bit to it. That was such a fun video, honestly. And I hope you guys like it. That was another one where I figured, boy, people are not going to care about this one at all. But I got a lot of great comments from people saying that it's the first time they'd seen comic books treated like actual poetry, or talked about as if it's poetry. And I thought, yeah, I mean, because it's so good. Yeah, you have to use a PC to use Super Chat? I think you have to use a like a desktop computer, potentially. But yeah. So, the Spider-Gwen poll. Yes, let me actually go look at that real fast, because I am as interested as you are. It hasn't been up for too much, or too long, and let's go check it out. This was the poll we did yesterday. How are you doing? Shut up. I don't know if you guys could hear that. This is a poll I did yesterday about Spider-Gwen's costume. Oh, it's not even close, you guys. So I put up a poll in the video from yesterday, which was a very late video. I apologize for that. But basically, there was Spider-Gwen's official hoodie costume that we know that she wears. And then there was Dan Slott's original idea, which was drawn up for me by I think it's... I'm saying Yaxi Art, but I feel like that is probably wrong. It's probably like Yaxi Art. I don't know. I cite him in that video. I put a bunch of stuff in the description for you to check out. He's a great guy. He did it in such a short turnaround too, which was awesome. But he had drawn up that design, and I had put up a poll at the end that said, which design do you like more, the official hoodie costume or Dan Slott's original idea that Yaxi drew up? And it's not even close, with over 2,200, almost 2,300 votes total. 96% said they like the official hoodie costume, and only 3% say they like Dan Slott's original idea. Although I did get comments, sorry about that. Although I did get comments saying that some people really enjoyed they wanted a combo, right? They thought a middle option would be good for a good combo. Retcon X, I was sorry, I was distracted by that other page I just saw right now. Thank you so much for the super chat for the $5. Yes, Wolverine facts and info for March. That is definitely a plan. I haven't figured out exactly what I want to do. The original plan for March was going to be comic book soldier characters, right? Because March, somebody suggested that on Twitter. I'm not going to take credit for that kind of pun or play on words or whatever. But I thought that was such a fun idea. But then I figured there's so much stuff coming out so many comic book things coming out in March. Like, there's obviously Logan, there's Power Rangers, there's Iron Fist, there's a ton of other stuff, and I'm doing, basically this whole month is going to be just a billion collabs with other people. I got potentially a Boss Level 8 collab. We got people who I've never collabed with before. We're going to talk about Riverdale. We're going to talk about Power Rangers, like I said. We're going to, Owen Likes Comics is going to potentially do a video with me. So it's a bunch of stuff, and we're talking specifically comic book movies, TV shows, and maybe even, I don't know why I thought this, but I was thinking maybe a video game of some kind, and I don't know why. I think I had a dream about potentially doing a video game, and now it's stuck in my head, but I don't know what video game or why I even thought that. I don't want to put your put thoughts in your head. But yeah. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing. I'm still deciding. I think we're going to do a really early Guardians of the Galaxy month. Or not month. Yikes. Really early Galaxy Guardians of the Galaxy video coming out in this month to get kind of preparation, to kind of get that momentum going for when the movie comes out. But I mean, I was just talking with the Boss Level 8 guys, and who are awesome. We've had them on the podcast before. I've done some stuff with them in the past, and they were like, let's do a Guardians of the Galaxy video, and we were just kind of spitballing ideas, and we came up with so many things that it's just like, I could potentially do a whole month of Guardians of the Galaxy, but I won't. I think, I don't want to wear it all out. But yeah. So let's see, where were we? The Spider-Gwen. That's another one. The Spider-Gwen video was actually Orum's idea, Dylan's idea. I say Orum only because that's what your name is in the chat, and people might not know. But yeah, that was kind of his idea. I think he even sent me the link to everything for the info to check out. And that was a fun video to make. Couple editing issues in there because I was a bit rushed, but it was cool. So Carter S. Spider-Gwen or Gwenpool. I haven't actually read any Gwenpool. That was another one I was going to touch on. Initially I was going to touch on that in the video to kind of discuss the reason why there's a Gwenpool comic, but I just thought, that's too complicated. I want to make it a little bit more focused on one character instead of a billion characters. Sergeant Superman. Will there be anything about X-23 for Logan? That's a great question. I don't know. I haven't actually picked out my Logan topic just yet. I have a couple ideas, but man, I'm really saving. So if our video schedule ideally is Wednesdays and Saturdays, I'm really saving that Saturday for a topic that is inspired by after I watch the movie. So I might have like a preemptive video on Wednesday before the movie comes out, and I'll be like, oh yes, here's a topic about Wolverine. And then once I see kind of how they're like the direction of X-23 in Wolverine, or in Logan rather, then I'll be like, oh, okay, I get it. I want to do this video now. So I'm kind of like saving it to see if the movie inspires a topic, kind of, you know? But yeah, the chat is going by pretty fast. Thank you for everyone who showed up. This is awesome. This is a ton of fun. Yeah, let's talk about Miles Morales and Peter Parker, because this was a kind of a controversial video, I guess, where I said that Miles Morales turned Spider-Man into a legacy. And so this was a video that I got into a couple arguments about. First and foremost, when I say he turned Spider-Man into a legacy, I'm talking about the title of Spider-Man, right? I'm not talking about Peter Parker's legacy as a person, as a human being. I'm talking about just literally the title Spider-Man. Now, obviously, as I kind of briefly touched on in that video, there have been other Spider-Men, right? Like Spider-Man 2099, for example. But like for me, that didn't challenge Peter Parker as Spider-Man the way that Miles did, because people always saw like Miguel O'Hara as, oh, he's Spider-Man 2099, but Miles Morales is just Spider-Man. And you could argue that he's Ultimate Spider-Man, but not really anymore. And I think the way he came on, actually taking over after Peter died in that universe, challenged the idea of Peter Parker being the Spider-Man, you know? So, I don't know. I don't have all my thoughts collected right now. That video was a while ago. How is Miles not Spider-Man? Literally nothing that says he isn't. Yeah, dude, he totally is. But yeah. Who's your favorite alternate Spider-Verse Spider-Man? That's a great one. I love the comic strip version, where it was like a 1-page or 2-page thing, where they tried to go and get the comic strip version of Spider-Man. It was just all black and white, and it kept doing like 3 panels and then kind of looping around. The 4th panel would repeat, and then like it just, the whole universe collapsed because it didn't make sense. It was awesome. That was really funny, kind of a self-aware joke. I would also say, just design-wise, design-wise, I'd probably go with, man, I really enjoy Lady Spider. It's a very kind of steampunky look. Oh, what's that one? The one that's like code, like it's like SP//DR, you know? That one was really cool. Yeah, and then of course Spider-Gwen. I mean, I was trying to avoid it, but like Spider-Gwen has a cool costume, guys. I'm a fan. Yeah, those were all cool. Spider-Man Noir. That was actually something that I learned. I didn't actually know that Spider-Verse was delayed a year. It was supposed to be a Superior Spider-Man story, not a Spider-Man story, you know? But that delay of a year made it so that they could bring on other creators, bring on other writers and artists to create these new characters. So a lot of those new ones would never have been made if it wasn't delayed. And that was something that Dan Slott talks about in that interview that I linked in the description. Was he talked about how it just constantly was this source of he kept using the term alchemy, where it's just the right people at the right time, and it brings it all together and creates this awesome stuff. So that's one of my favorite things about learning about comic books in general, is that it's always about the right people at the right time under the right circumstances. Because almost like they can pretend like they're planning stuff out, and a lot of people do plan stuff out for a while, but it almost never comes to fruition the way that they want it to, because everything is always in your way, and they're always trying to come up with kind of improvise on the fly. And that's how a lot of cool stories are written, is because they're just improvised on the fly, and there's no chance to double think it, you know, to overthink it, to just, you just have to jump in, and it just creates some awesome stuff. So yeah, let's see. Looks like a lot of not a lot, but let's just see what other videos we haven't talked about yet necessarily. Oh, it looks like the only one we haven't touched on is Spider-Man sticking to walls with his shoes on. That was a question and answer kind of video. What did you guys think of those types of videos, by the way, where I take a question from you guys either on Twitter or Facebook or even just the comments, and I just answer that one specific question? That's the second time that we've done that sort of thing. I think it plays out pretty okay, pretty well. My concern, and I'll be honest with you guys, my concern is that I don't want the comments to be filled with just people saying, do this, do this, do this. I want to continue to have a nice, meaningful discussion, a nice, thoughtful discussion of the actual video content and not just people saying, talk about this, talk about that. Or people saying, please notice me, Scott. That as well. So, we'll see. But I think that's that's something that we might do from now on, is if I get some more stuff in. And, of course, obviously, if it's themed appropriately for the month. So, let's talk about the theme for the next month, and then I will go back, and then we'll just do some Q&A for a little bit. So the theme for next month, well, we already said it was comic book movies and TV shows. Let me talk to you about some of the stuff that we're thinking about doing. Nothing is specifically planned just yet, but I think I'm going to talk about... So Owen and I have actually a two-part collab. He's going to talk about the problem with the DC EU, the movie universe. The problem, right? As if there's just one. People are triggered now. I apologize. There's also... I'm going to talk about the problem with the MCU that I think it has. Or that it could potentially have, rather. I'm going to talk about how the MCU could burst really easily. So the next thing I'm going to... these are in no particular order. I'm also going to do a collab with... obviously we're going to do a Logan video. I haven't discovered that out. I'm going to do a collab with Mother's Basement, who, if you haven't heard of him, if you are a big fan of anime, you got to check out this guy. I met him at VidCon. He's such a nice guy, and he's brilliant. I don't even like anime, I'll be honest with you, but I can't get enough of his videos. His name is, I think his channel is just Mother's Basement, and he does in-depth kind of anime breakdowns, talking about what makes things good, what makes things bad. Not just reviews, right, but he's talking about it as an art form and just dissecting the world, and it's so cool. He's such a cool guy, and his videos are amazing, and I'm super jealous that I can't make anything like he does. That was actually kind of my inspiration for the Mary Jane and Peter Parker's relationship video was him, because I was like, oh, dude, his videos are great, and I want to make kind of stuff like that. And it wasn't exactly kind of like what he does, because he does it way better, but that was definitely my a big inspiration there. Yeah, have Andre on my video about Riverdale. Dude, can I just say, I would love to talk about Riverdale with Andre. When he put out on Twitter like a few weeks back, he's like, does anyone want me to make more Riverdale reviews? And I was like, please never stop talking about Riverdale, because it's amazing. Not the show. Him talking about Riverdale is amazing. So I think I would love to do a Riverdale collab with him. But I'm going to do a Riverdale collab with Mother's Basement, which is interesting because he was like, it's not anime, but I really want to tear it apart. And I think I'm going to talk more about the comic book side of things. So... do I like Riverdale? No. Can I look away whenever it's on? Not even a little bit. That show, it's not good, but man, I can't stop watching it. And I don't know why, and I hate myself, but I can't. I gotta watch every single episode. Yeah, Riverdale seems weird and strange. It is weird and strange. Yeah, it's like it is a train wreck. It's a train wreck that you just can't look away from. Like, it's so horrible, but like, God, it's entrancing, and I don't know why. But then there's, I'm gonna do another collab with, what's his channel's name? Is it Redis 101? I'm sorry if you're watching. I know you as a person. I just didn't know your channel name off the top of my head. Redis 101, Relatively small channel, but makes some really great stuff. Reached out to me a long time ago, and we want to do I think he's doing a whole month of Power Ranger stuff, and asked if I wanted to be involved, and I said yes. So we're gonna do a Power Ranger collab. So it's just like a whole month of collab stuff. Like I said earlier, the Boss Level 8 guys and I are gonna do a Guardians of the Galaxy collab this month, or next month rather, March. And it's just kind of in preparation for the movie, which comes out 2 months after. And it's gonna be a fun time. We haven't decided on a topic yet. I could do multiple topics. I think they want to do the one that they're really geared towards is what makes Guardians of the Galaxy so different from like everything else in the MCU. And the more that I think about it, though, I feel like Guardians of the Galaxy and Iron Man, the first Iron Man, are pretty much like the same movie. So obviously that means collab with Couch Tomato. Yet again. Actually, I would be down for that. That guy was awesome. But no, we'll probably do something like that. I also want to do a video about, somebody suggested this to me on Twitter, I think, and I thought it was a cool idea, or maybe it was in the YouTube comments, and I thought it was a really, really awesome idea. It was, why is Baby Groot cute? What makes Baby Groot cute? And kind of the more of the psychology or biology behind why we think certain things are cute. Yeah, I think that's a fun idea to do. Because I did a video when the first Guardians of the Galaxy came out about Groot's design as a character, and I would love to revisit that as Baby Groot's design. So, everyone's saying, his eyes, as if that's the one thing, you guys. As if that's the one thing. Come on. You know it's more in depth about that. My question is, what makes things cute? Why do we think those eyes are cute? Right? Yeah, anyway. Yeah, it's more of a broad question of what is cute, right? And why we have the capacity to think things are cute and what the purpose of that is. So, how does one make soup? Welcome to NerdSync. Yep. Cool. Maybe not a philosophy of cuteness, but I like where your head's at. But yeah. You guys are just, I love where your guys' heads are at, but trust me, the video is going to be way more, yeah, kind of what Mason is saying, cute is culturally constructed. That's kind of the idea that I'm going to be leaning towards, most likely. Not just what facets of Groot make him cute, but like what is cute, you know? But yeah, cuteness 101. Link Groot to design. I already did, like 2 years ago or something like that, or 3 years ago now. Yikes, it's been a while. Talking about the design of Groot. It was a fun time. We probably won't go for too much longer, so let's just do a quick little Q&A for maybe the next, 7 minutes or so. We'll wrap this up around 45 minutes. So, yeah, we'll just do that. Also, just wanted to say, once again, huge thanks to everyone who did the Super Chat thing. It was our first time trying this out, and I think it worked out pretty well. I'm surprised, and I'm doubly surprised by people's generosity. That was so cool. You guys are the best. So, let's see here. Will I teach you how to be cute? Yes. I'm adorable, and I can try my best to pass that on to you. What's my favorite MCU movie? God, I love Winter Soldier so much. So much. It's a near perfect movie in my eyes. In terms of the MCU, it's not like my favorite movie of all time. That goes to Scott Pilgrim, but Winter Soldier's real good. Yeah. What's Super Chat? Oh, that's the thing that you may have not. I don't know if you were here for it, but yeah, basically you can just kind of send messages and get your name all glowy and colorful and all that stuff. It's cool. It's cool. I think you might have to be on a computer to do it, Who knows? Hashtag magic webs. Boy, I gotta tell you, I forgot about that, but now I'm on board. Hashtag magic webs. So good. Do I have an Instagram or Tumblr? Don't have a Tumblr. Well, that's not entirely true. We do have a NerdSync Tumblr, but it hasn't been updated in like years. So, good luck. Instagram, yes, it's just at NerdSync. Or, I mean, if you're looking for my stuff, I have a lower third right here for Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. That's just at Scott Nicewonder on all those places. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know what side of the screen it's on. I think it's here. Here. This is all my social media, all in one place. Go follow me there. I'm actually taking a Twitter break right now, so if you go follow me on Twitter for the first time, I apologize that I'm not invested currently, but normally I tweet way too much. Thank you, Mopey, yet again. Hey, Mopey to the rescue. Doing another super chat, perhaps demonstrating it to other people. No, but that's awesome. Was it weird to update the lower third for the first time in forever? For the first time in forever. No, I had spent years trying to get that song out of my head. Yes, it was weird to update it, because I actually, every time I do it, I add more texture to it, right? So I added a paper texture this time around. Thank you, 3DIY, yet again, coming in clutch. I love it. And I wanted to show what platforms this tag was for, right? So, Scott Nicewonder, it's just kind of like, for where? So I was like, well, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. Go check it out. And then I added sound effects even to it. I've been adding a lot of sound effects to things. So, you discovered the channel with who killed Bruce Wayne's parents? Awesome. That was a video that I didn't think was going to do very well because, I don't know. I think I had a different thing planned for it. Yes, I was going to do a video about Batman and guns, which I ended up doing like a year later. But yeah, that video was kind of like a last minute, I want to talk about this sort of a thing, because I found the script, the original script for the movie, and I thought it was a cool thing to talk about. So awesome. Mopey, do we have a lack of mods on the screen right now? Do we need more? Yeah, the real answer is we all killed Bruce Wayne's parents because we needed an explanation for why he would become Batman, and so in that sense, we drove the writers to kill his parents. That is correct. Do you get much fan art? We get a decent amount. We don't get like a bunch. We don't get like one every day or anything like that, but maybe like once a week, I think. It's pretty good. But yeah, we also have a P.O. box. I'm going to shamelessly promote that 1 billion times. Because it's such a fun thing to go check it out just occasionally and find some very encouraging letters and stuff in there, and people sent us drawings, and it's awesome. So you guys are awesome, and yeah, that's been a fun thing. Have I seen the trailer for the new Spider-Man game? Yes. Can I play it? No. Because I don't have a PlayStation, so I'm debating buying one, but I don't have the money. But yeah. All right, couple more minutes. Will I ever do a Hellboy video? Oof. I don't know, but you heard that announcement that Guillermo del Toro was like, okay, officially, Hellboy 3 is definitely not happening. So everyone can just kind of, let their dreams die, I guess. Which was sad. My favorite MCU character? That's a tough one. I like Vision a lot, but he hasn't been like consistently great in my opinion. I know he's only been in 2 movies, but boy, that's real tough. I'm a big fan of Hulk, but also he hasn't been consistently great either. No one's really been consistently great except Captain America. So I guess Captain America. Would I marry Lin-Manuel Miranda if he asked me? Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Uh, cool. Let's see. We have a couple more seconds, maybe a minute left here. Last minute questions. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do 3 last questions here. Get it in here. Use a super chat if you want to. I'm kidding. Not necessary. I'll just pick from here. Let me see. Let me go through here. Sorry. Just trying to pick one. My opinion on Young Justice coming back. I am so incredibly excited for that. Young Justice was one of my favorite cartoons. Yeah, it was so good. I was incredibly invested in it, and when it got canceled, I was very sad. And so it coming back is like one of the coolest. Like it shows that, oh yeah, fans can bring things back. We have influence. Riots and protests, not riots though. Don't do that. But yeah, petitions and whatnot is what I was trying to say. Can I tell you? So Preston Astro, can I talk about the science of the Flash? I gotta say, this has been something that has been asked of me since like the beginning of time, and I purposely haven't done it because I feel like everybody's done it, right? Like because science has done it. I know that Imaginary Axis has done it. So talking about the science of the Flash just seems. It was on my docket like 2 years ago or something like that to do, but I just couldn't come up with an original angle for it that I felt like nobody else had done before. I'm sure a Vsauce has done something like that before. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's too obvious, but if I can find something that maybe no one has done, yeah, I'll do that. Mopey, once again, coming in clutch as this is with the super chat as this is about to end. You're awesome. Let's see. Oof. It's difficult picking the last question, but I'm gonna take it from Ace Rage, or I'm not, because that was deleted. Never mind. I apologize. The mods deleted it. I'm gonna take it from. Let's see here. Super chat. Voltron. Yes. I'm going to take it from Maeve Doyle, who says, have I seen Voltron, Legendary Defender? I have. I just started watching it again. So I watched it when it first came out. I watched the first episode, and I didn't realize, because that was like an hour-long episode, and I thought they were all like that. Like it was going to be 13 hour-long episodes, or however many episodes there were in the first season. So I never continued with it, because I was like, I just don't have the time. And then I got back into it just very recently, like maybe last week. Or earlier this week or something. And I was like, oh, wait, no, these are like just regular 22 whatever minute episodes. I can watch this. And I did. And I sat down. I haven't finished it. I think I have like 2 episodes of the second season left. But, boy, it's so good. Like, it's real good. It's like to the point where I kind of want to see if I can make a Voltron video in some capacity. Because it's very good. But yeah, there was one other thing that I wanted to talk about. Oh yes, Avash. I can't pronounce your last name. I apologize. I'm stupid. Says C-Sneg. I agree. Thank you guys, everybody, for watching. Thank you guys for, especially everyone who's in the super chat. That was so cool. This is the first time trying it out, and I think it's been a good success. If you like these live streams, we'll try to do one probably once a month at the end of the month, kind of going back over all of our videos, kind of more like behind the scenes or just going over comments. This is kind of like I guess a spiritual successor to Tales from the Comments in a way. Tales from the Comments was much more produced. This is more just laid back, and I just want to talk to you guys and get your opinions on stuff. And I feel like it's, pretty fun to do it more this way than to do it the way that we potentially were doing in the past. So, let me know if you like this thing. We could do it at the end, and or at the end of the next month as well. Maybe even some other stuff in between. I love live streaming. I would do it more, but I just don't have much to talk about. So, Will I repost this on the channel? Yes. This is actually, as soon as this gets archived, it's going to go live again. Well, not live like this, but it's going to go up so people can watch it again. And it's going to be a cool time. Looks like everybody is dropping off. But this was awesome. This was awesome, guys. Live streams are great. You're great. We will see you next week for another video. The Logan video, I assume, if I can ever come up with a topic in time. So, thanks everyone, and I will see you Wednesday, I think. All right. Bye.